Think of one of our most respected actresses of many decades, you do think of certain films. It takes you back to a time when England was England, people enjoyed afternoon tea, popping back with library books and seemingly having time for each other, a little chat outside the butcher's, or indeed, as I say, just popping about your daily business. No other film really incorporated this as well as possibly one of the most romantic films of a generation, penned by none other than Sir Noel Coward, starred Trevor Howard and this particular lady, Celia Johnson. What a film. We're talking Brief Encounter. Did you know, by the way, that when they decided to make Brief Encounter, they had no idea really how successful it would become? Obviously, it was during wartime and it was very difficult to film certain elements of it, but you can imagine Sir Noel pushed ahead and naturally he had the lion's share of the box office. I know all of this particular material simply because I was lucky enough to meet a lady very close to Celia Johnson, none other than Lucy Fleming, her daughter. You see, fascinating connections when you think. We got invited to a very special Bond launch at the Dorchester Hotel in Park Lane, London. Spectacular event, in fact, and Lucy was there to help launch it, simply as that. And as we got chatting over a cup of tea, as you do, she told me so many wonderful stories. Now, Lucy has recently just popped up at a festival, all regarding books and lost letters and things like that. And she's been reading some of the love letters between her mother and her father. Very moving, I'm sure you'll agree. You see, Peter Fleming was the brother of none other than Ian Fleming. That's right, the creator of 007 himself. Wonderful connections, I'm sure you could imagine. And Lucy told me that her mother, although she enjoyed filmmaking, much preferred being on the stage for the instant reaction from the audience and was always rather perplexed at the success of many of her films. She said that mother sort of tired of waiting around for shots to be set up and scenes to be lit. She loved the instant thing of theatre where, you know, you walked on stage, the audience were there and the lighting was spectacular. Well, not always, as you can imagine, during wartime. While these letters, of course, were part, as I say, of a festival, it is hoped that Lucy may include them in a forthcoming book. Fingers crossed, because they really do shine a light on that particular era. As Lucy told me, Noel Coward was everything that you could possibly have wished. Naturally, very witty, quite putting down in points, and really spoke his mind. And let's not forget, Sir Noel himself created yet another mammoth movie of that particular era, In Which We Serve, in which he starred, wrote, directed, produced, and literally popped up virtually in every scene. And when someone said, did he think that there was too much Noel? He said, there can never be too much Noel. Truly, somebody that you could really admire, is it not? As I say, I wanted to share this particular story with you because it is lovely meeting these people that have truly lived through these magnificent times. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering who is Lucy married to, well, another wonderful connection, because her husband is none other than the upstairs downstairs star Simon Williams. That's right, Captain James Bellamy. If you remember, that was the sort of prequel, wasn't it, to Downton Abbey? And I said to her, you know, did you enjoy the series? Absolutely, she said. Now, what's fascinating, also, I do remember this, that I said to Lucy, why have you never really been in the Bonds? You know, why have you never had a more sort of pivotal role? I think she would make a great M, you know, the role that was taken on by Dame Judi Dench. She said it would be up to the Bond bosses. Now, when you think about it, if your father was the brother of the creator of 007 James Bond, if you can't get it in then, when can you? As I say, look out for more details on Lucy's love letters between her father and her mother, the brilliant Celia Johnson. And if you've seen many of her films, including possibly her most famous Brief Encounter, as ever, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, what I really need at this point, of course, is a big sort of, well, mixture of smoke from a steam engine. Tilt my hat and wander off in black and white. What do you mean, get on with it, Neil? I'll see you soon.